So today we'll be learning how to service a power flight vacuum. First thing we want to do is make sure that it is unplugged. We never want to be using tools around machines that have power going to them. So the first step is definitely make sure that the vacuum's unplugged, and then we can get started. So we want to take out the bag first. So if you just lift up on this handle right here, it'll pop right off. And it looks like this vacuum never had a bag. So I'm going to clean this out and then we'll keep going. Alright, so now that we cleaned up that mess, if that ever happens, good thing to know is this red piece right here actually pops out, just like that. So that can easily come out and be disposed of, cleaned off into the trash can. I'm going to set that aside for later. And there's actually a filter in here, you probably can't see it, that also pops out. So you can see I'm just going to take out this filter and try to clean it off into the garbage can. Alrighty, the inside is cleaned out. Filter is clean, and it's always a good idea to have a trash can right beside you so you can dispose of all the garbage. Now all I'm doing is inserting this filter. It just slides right on in there, just like that. Pretty easily installed again. And then this red guard can just go right on top of it, and that also just slides in and sits right on top. Alright, so next thing we have to do is we're going to have to clean out the drain. Drain starts at the top there, runs all the way behind the vacuum, underneath, and that's where it sucks up all the stuff. Any type of snake will work. Today we're going to be using a Zip-It, and it works wonders with stuff like that. So we're going to start at the back. You can see right here, this little thing just pops up and turns, right? And it provides access to the tube, which again runs all the way down under. So I'm just going to stick this Zip-It right on in here. Just stick it in right there. Move it around a little bit, see if we can get any clogs out of here. It's also important to make sure that you can see through and there's no clog in there. This looks like a pretty clean hose. I'm going to pull it out. Got nothing on it, so the top part of the tube is clear, but the Zip-It doesn't reach all the way down, so we're going to have to flip over the vacuum and try from the other side as well. So here is the underside of the tube. You can see the hole right through here. Sometimes it's difficult to get to, so we're actually going to take off this bottom metal plate. All you need is a flathead screwdriver, and then basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to twist these screws out, and then I'm going to lift the plate off. Alright, now that the screws are out, this plate just pops right off. So you want to clean out this, make sure these wheels are spinning okay. This looks like these are good. What we really wanted was we want access to this tube right here. We want to try to stick our Zip-It right up in there and see if there's any clog in the bottom part of the drain. So I'm going to do that real quick so you guys can see. This just gets right up in there. Moving around. Doesn't look like there's a clog in there. There's not a clog. So you're good to go there. The next thing we want to check is to see how this belt is doing. Looks like this belt's a little crack right here on the side. We were looking for if it's worn out, if it's broke, if it's cracking, anything that's going to prohibit this from spinning freely. This happens because hair gets in there, stops this thing from spinning, stops the belt from spinning, but the motor in the back, which is right back in here, the motor still spins and it wears down on the belt. So I'm going to show you guys how to change that as well. All you have to do is take out this piece right here. It just slides right out. And then again, this entire shaft will just pop out from pulling. And once you lift that out, this thing also pops out, right? And then so you can just take off this shaft, put it on the ground, get your hands back up in there, and this thing will just push it to the left here, and then it should just come right out. Let's see, it's hard to do with one hand. There we go, pops right out. So we're actually going to change this belt out. It's a little cracked, if you guys can see that. A little worn out, so we're going to change it out. Alright, before we enter the new belt, we want to make sure that this is free of hair and spins nice and smooth. Sometimes when there's a lot of hair, it's a good idea to take a sharp edge, like some scissors or a knife, and cut the hair and use pliers to take it off, but we really want to make sure that this spins freely. Alright, I obtained a brand new belt, and so we're going to install it now. We're going to install it on this motor shaft back here by pushing it to the left and then hooking around there, nice and easy. And then we want to make sure that the belt goes to the right of this guard that protects it from slipping. We're going to take this shaft and just hook it on to the belt, and it gets a little tricky here. Basically what we're going to do, we're going to pull the belt, and then we're going to insert this back into place. So pulling it and making sure that this falls into place like so. And that should just slide down as well. And again, to test it, make sure the belt is in the correct position. Spinning this, it should spin pretty easily. And you should also see the belt moving. Alright, so now that we have the new belt on, and this in place, we're going to reinsert this so that it doesn't fall out, and that just slides in like so, nice and secure. Now we have to put the bottom plate back on, and this gets a little tricky because there's a little lip on the bottom plate that's going to hook under on this plastic lip here, and when that hooks on, it'll fold up. And you'll know it's in place if the holes line up here. And then basically all we're going to do is we're just going to screw these back in. But I forgot one thing. This is a common mistake that happens. We want to make sure that this thing is flipped down and in place before we put this plate back on. So it's good that I did that. Make sure that's in place under the cover, because the cover holds this in. And again, we're just going to make sure these holes line up and put the screws back in. Alright, now that the bottom plate is back on and screwed in, you can pull up on the bottom and it doesn't come out. You know it's on correctly. And then sometimes if the vacuum trips, you're going to want to push this button right here. Look, it's located at the bottom on the back cover. You're just going to need a pointy, small object to just push that reset button. And when you plug it back in after that, it will be good to go. Next thing I'm going to do is show you guys how to insert a bag into here, and then we will be finished. Alright, so this is what a bag looks like. We're going to obtain this cardboard square here that has a sealer on it, so the dust particles, when they're being sucked into the hose, doesn't just fly everywhere. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this cardboard, I'm going to put it around the top of the hose, this red piece right here, and I'm just going to push, and it's going to do the rest on its own. So basically, I'm just going to push this bag in using the cardboard side. You can see here that it's on now. Now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to spread out the bag and make sure the rest fits into here. And when this bag is in, we can then take the cover and just insert the cover using the bottom first. Make sure the bottom's in place. And we're just going to snap it in. So now the vacuum is ready to go, and we're going to test it by plugging it in and seeing if it'll pick up stuff. And now we're going to see, we made a little mess during the maintenance work, so we're going to just turn this baby on.
I hear the drums echoing tonight, and she hears only whispers of some quiet.
And it's good to go.